Hey, lovelies, Lisa here, and it is day 23 in my Tower month, and only 7 more days till the end of this month. And then July, my card, the card I drew in my Wheel of Life spread, is the Daughter of Pentacles, um, which I have become accustomed to associating with my dog Homer, my incredible pit bull who died in December. December of last year, I also had drawn the Daughter of Pentacles, and there's just a lot of ways in which, in which that card just feels like that's all about Homer. So that'll be interesting to explore next month. I'm also seriously thinking, I have been pondering whether I want to do a series of the major arcana and kind of draw them month by month. I don't know. It's doing a video every day is kind of insane. When I did my 78 days, I would sometimes, my 78 days of tarot back in 2017, I would sometimes, miss a day, and that seemed okay, because I was doing it. I was in it to win it. I was doing it over the long haul, and there was a lot of cards to talk about, 78 in fact. But when I'm doing something where I'm really thinking about a chunk of time as being in the sway of a card, not to do it on a daily basis feels a little weirder. So I don't know. Anyway, yeah, so who knows? I might dive into something crazy where I try to do the entire major arcana. But I might not. We'll see. So day 23. I was thinking earlier today that there really are some, even though I've been exploring a bunch of different ideas, and different decks have inspired me, just totally randomly. It hasn't really been, I haven't had a concerted effort of looking through all my decks or anything, but different decks have popped up to mind, and they've inspired me, and drawing other cards have inspired me, drawing playing cards, doing daily draws. There have been a lot of ways that I've dived into this project, but there have been some themes that really are starting to emerge as very, very strong. Thinking about the Tower as being about vulnerability meeting grace, my wandsiness meeting my cupsiness, fire meeting water, heaven meeting earth, and there's been this thing too about the ways in which the upheaval associated with the Tower really does seem tied to our efforts and at least I'll just leave it in the first person, to my efforts, to the way I put myself out into the world. The falling from a tower, or a tower collapsing and crumbling. A tower is something that humans create. It's really different as a card of change and transformation or disruption and upheaval. It's really different from, say, death, this sort of sense of a natural process or a process of time that unfolds in a way that we can't really halt. Similarly, it's different from the sense of transformations of ups and downs that we might associate with the wheel or with fortune. For some, the Trump 10 fortune really is about, like, this is a stroke of good luck. For me, it's always been a card that really denotes that shifting and interconnected ebb and flow of identity or status or circumstance. So it's always felt to me like the wheel is turning, and that turning seems really important. And so, it's like death or like the Tower. This is about ups and downs, but it's a different feel. The Tower, the upheaval, the ups coming down, has to do with the product of human creativity. I mean, a tower is something that humans build. And even if what knocks it down is a force of nature, is something beyond human control. There's the sense that that strike of flame, that ignition that is beyond our control, nonetheless, when we put our energy into the world, when we create, when we build, when we do our human thing, we are putting ourselves in the market for things beyond our control to knock us down. And that seems important. It seems important to me that the tower, the upheavals and upsets that the tower represent are tied to our own efforts. So I was thinking today about the sequence of cards in Cat Black's Golden Tarot. And Mel, if you're watching, the fact that you just got this deck made me think of it. I have this wonderful eBay find, which is the first edition of this deck, which was matte rather than glossy. And the cardstock is that sort of softer, it's not like rose petal, not that kind of finish, but it's a really nice matte, solid, soft cardstock, and I love it. So the images are all the same. The Devil. Okay, so this is the 15th trump. And then notice the similarities between the Devil. Oops, sorry, that star. Between the Devil, 15, and 16, the Tower. Right? Both of these have a sense of onlookers witnessing conflagration, fire and destruction, right? But the Devil, in the Devil, this is like we have no control. We have ceded our control. We've given it up. We are in chains. We feel ourselves enslaved. And I was just looking to see what the Latin tag said, and it's cut off, but it says something like, I think, in hell, nothing is something redemptio. I mean, it's something about, there's no hope, there's no redemption in hell. So that sense of being completely unfettered, completely enchained, and that the destruction and the horrors, this has nothing to do with human agency. But then in the Tower, you have a similar, even the stance of the woman in red. Oops, I keep wanting to go to the star. Oh, the star. We love the star. Okay. The woman in red holding up her hand, so much like the woman in the Devil. But, there's a lot of differences here. There's this angel hovering above. But it just seems to me that, the whole point of the Tower is that this is the world that humans create. And, in this particular depiction of the Tower, we don't know why the fires exist. The fires seem to be coming from within the building. They don't seem to be caused by natural causes. It's not entirely clear what the angel is doing here. Maybe this is an angel meting out destruction from a supernatural source, but there is no natural source of the fire. There's just only humans and what humans have made, and the angels kind of flying in the corner. Not a figure of control in the same way that the Devil is at all. So there's a way to think about the movement from the 15th trump to the 16th trump, from the Devil, with the sense of our loss of power, our loss of agency. We're enfettered. This is a card that many read in terms of addiction or patterns of enchainment to our own desires, not being able to put our kind of higher selves forward, but instead just grappling with these sort of inchoate and uncontrollable forces of our darkest, most shadowy nature. versus the 16th, or maybe in preparation for the 16th trump, where it's like, nope, whatever is burning me up, this is part of the world of human power, human agency, human control. Losing control is something that we court, something that we enter into the possibility of every time we humans use our control. And maybe even the gods are helpless in these moments, because this is a world that we have created. This is a disaster that we have created or have enabled. So why this is important to me is because, it's like, it's not either I have control or I don't have control. It's I always both don't have control and do have control. And the very activity, the very engagement with my life as a being who is trying to make things happen, trying to move forward, trying to articulate my intentionality, all of that is what puts me in the position of being able to fall. I built this tower now can fall. So can I own my agency and at the same time acknowledge that I don't have ultimate control? Or do I need to keep inventing these boogeymen, these external forces that are creating my misery? Can I just own it? This is my world. I've built my world. I don't control it, but I bring my full identity, my full force, all of my karma into this place at this time. This is my tower. These are my flames. This has nothing to do with demons, and probably even less to do with angels. This is just me. I think that once we find a way toward acknowledging the fullness of the self, which is also the self's vulnerability, then we find our way to the star with its healing balm of faith and hope, with its sense of a steadying support toward the future. Okay. I hope that made sense. I'm feeling personally kind of inspired by the way in which the tower reminds me to harness my energies. No holds barred, but also no guarantees. Yeah. Okay. As always, thank you for watching. Sorry I droned on for 13 minutes and 23 seconds. Thanks for sticking with me. And thank you for your practice.